Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we're going to talk about something that I've actually wanted to make this video for quite some time actually. However, I haven't done it for some reason. But we're going to talk about what is your favorite thing to do in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, there's different things players like to do in Yu-Gi-Oh! You have the players that like opening packs because they're casual. You got the players out there that like playing competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! You have the players out there that just like dueling. You have players out there that love deck building and deck theorization. This guy right here. You have the players out there that just love the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! In general. You have players out there that love the anime, not too much the card game. You have the cynical old school guys that hate the meta and love all things old school Yu-Gi-Oh! That's somewhat me, but not all the way me. So I'm kind of in the middle there, like I've always said. Then you have the players out there that they love playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitively. This guy, but they also like playing it for fun. This guy. So yeah, there's different types of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players out there. Like I just stated, there's a lot of different players out there. There's players that love the anime, don't like the card game. There's players that love the anime and love the card game. There's a multitude of different players out there. Now me, what is my favorite thing to do in Yu-Gi-Oh! If I had to choose one thing out there that I love doing, it is deck building. I love deck building. People ask me, why do you love deck building so much, Seto? It's creating a deck out of nothing and giving birth to it in a way. Like making the deck as best as it can be. Finding the best version of this deck. Finding the best version of Egyptian gods, and that works for me. Finding the best version of whatever said deck I'm trying to build, that works for me, because different players, as we all know, have little bit of different playing styles. I like playing different ratios of cards, etc., etc., etc. I've always said there's never one good deck build. There's multiple different deck builds that could be good and viable. What works for you works for you to some degree, and that's been true throughout the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I feel like. But saying that, deck building is something that I have always loved in my heart. It's been something that's become kind of an obsession to some degree, which I need to kind of curb as I try to settle down with the woman I love. But it's something that I love doing. I think on last count of how many decks I own, and I mean deck cores of decks, besides staple things like Solemn Strikes and Regekis and whatnot, I think I have like 110 decks at my disposal, not including probably the 10 old school decks I have, I think. So I have a lot of decks. It's something I love doing, just creating decks out of thin air. Be like, like when I wanted to build, there was one deck I've been working on, and that was Earthbound Immortals. And I just was like bored one night. I was like, oh, I gotta go to sleep. And I was like, you know what? Let me just see what out there is for Earthbound Immortals, because they seem like a pretty fun deck. They got some cool cards. So I look it up, Earthbound Immortal decks. Looking through on YouTube, there's a lot. Oh, there's a good one. That gives me a starting point. And then it's like the light bulb goes off in your head, you're like, ding! And you're like, but wait, I could do this. And this new card is out now. Even though this is a 2-year-old deck profile, so I could use this and do this with this, and oh my gosh, it works. Okay, Facebook, my friend Mike, we gotta try this deck. What deck you want to try? Earthbound Immortals. Why? Because they seem fun. So you get online and you're like, okay, how do we work this? What other cards do you think you could use? And when you have like me, who's been in this game forever, and you've studied and built so many decks over the years. I mean, gosh almighty, I don't know how many decks I've probably played throughout the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Career that I've actually held in my hand and played, or decks I've owned at one point in time. Probably 200 or more. Probably more than 200, way more than 200 I think, actually, now that I think about it. Probably a lot more than that. Decks I've owned. But when you have this vast knowledge of the card pool, and you've played so many different decks because of that reason, you can think of different combos, different engines, different little tech cards, random cards you could try out. I mean, I love talking about deck building with friends, because they'll be like, well, you could try that out, or they'll talk about a different deck. We'll be talking about like maybe, oh, I'll be looking through a commons binder, or like a guy's tin and looking for cards, just common cards, and I'll see a card and I'll be like, I have this card, but this would work well with that deck I was trying to build, and trying to find that last remaining piece to make it that much better. And you're like, ah, eureka! Put it in the deck, try it out online, try it in real life. It works. Yes. It functions. Yes. Oh my gosh, you beat your deck. Like I had, for example, like I was playing against Magispectors, a friend of mine who plays Magispectors. And I was like, okay, I'll take my Egyptian God deck. He's like, I don't care, it's Egyptian God, it's fun. And then I sphere mode on him twice, and he's like, that deck's good. And I'm like, I can't believe my deck did that good. You come to this point, and it usually takes me about, and I know this is kind of weird, because when I make decks, people don't understand this, I have different steps to making decks. Number 1, do your research. Number 2, playtest. Number 3, buy the deck core. Number 4, test again. Number 3, test again. Do test hands. Think of new techs. Research different cards you could try out too that you may want to add to the deck after you brought the cards you need and you have them. Do test hands, like 30, 40 test hands. Just shuffle, 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 test, test, test. I've spent evenings just doing test hands at night sometimes, because I'm trying to make that deck just that better. But you know, you just test these decks out, and then eventually you take it into combat, like an AK-47. You take the deck into combat, you test it against the meta decks, non-meta decks that your friends have, because all the playtests in the world can prepare you, but it's nothing like the real thing, so to speak. So you're testing against your friends. Okay, then you take the deck back, you look at it, and you say, okay, what could I change? What could I change a little bit differently? What are some other techs I could try out? And it may take me a year, it may take me 6 months, it may take me 8 months, but eventually I will have that deck down to a science where I know that deck, I know the exact plays how to do it, I can master the deck, and I know what to do. And I know what other cards I can put into the deck randomly that nobody would think about, because you know that deck so well and how it functions. You know at its core what it does. You know that if you wanted to take it into a tournament and you wanted to make a good side deck for it, you know what to put in the side deck, because you know what hurts, what doesn't hurt, what you would take out in certain matchups, so to speak. You know that deck so well. And that takes about 6 to 8 months to master. And me playtesting in real life and online constantly. And that's why you usually see me do a deck profile a week, because literally when I'm done with one deck profile, I'm already working on another one. So like, when I was profiling the the Silent Swordsman deck a couple of months ago, I was already working on decks for 2-3 months down the road already. Because by the time that profile went up on the channel, because there's that deck profile, here I am working on future decks already, baby. You know, and there's like new support always coming out in the game, so you're always testing new decks out. And we live in an era now, even with the Link Summoning mechanic out and coming out, that you still can build decks good. Old ideas and decks, I'm just looking at the timer here, can still be built good. I was just looking at the timer there for a second. I didn't want to keep rambling for too long, but we live in an age where there's always new support coming out, and even those commons that come out of sets can be good. Even those rares could help a deck out. These little cards like Apprentice Piper that I pointed out to everybody, that card's amazing. Put that card in an Earthbound Immortal deck and go, oh my gosh, it's broken. And because you can do so many different plays. There's just these little things you could try out. And it's amazing how they all conglomerate together and work together in a functional relationship. Trying to build those decks, test those decks. It's my favorite thing to do of Yu-Gi-Oh! I love playing competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! But between pretty much January and this time from at the moment I'm making this video, kind of to some degree, I have always been wanting to play the game a lot more just for fun. I'm in a situation right now where I know what I want in my future. I know what I want, now I gotta work for it. And I can't have the luxury of going to every regionals, every YCS that comes to town that's 5-6 hours away from me. I can't do that nowadays. I don't have the luxury of doing that because I have responsibilities, and I'd rather spend that time with ones I love or building decks for fun. You know, so while I love taking decks, building them up, and then making them the best they can be. So that may be meaning adding meta cards, adding those strikes. You know, I'm going to make that deck the best it can be that works, the best it can be that works for me. So what works for me at its best. That's what I like doing. That's what I love doing. And that's me in a nutshell. Let me make that deck as competitive as possible. And at the same time, I'll have my meta deck over here. So if I want to go to tournament one night or whatever, I can take it. It's the best build possible that works for me. And go to locals and go have some fun. So that's what I've always been doing. That is my favorite thing in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Playing fun decks, building decks to be the best they can be, and playing competitively with those decks to some degree. Or having my own competitive deck on the sidelines to say, hey boy, come in here, let's play quarterback. Okay, hut, go for a touchdown, you know, kind of deal, or whatever. You know, take it into the game and play with it and win with those competitive decks. But at the same time, you got, you know, your fun decks on the side that, say you go into the locals this week and you're like, you know what, I don't feel like playing against, you know, Zodiacs or True Kings or Totally Awesome or whatever the case may be. You know, I'm going to just take my random old deck over here, take it to locals and, you know, play for fun. Or I'm going to go to locals and I'm going to teach the youngins how to play or help them play. And, you know, it's so fun. When you just start playing these fun decks, sometimes you get kind of attached to them. You're like, dang, I like playing this game for fun sometimes, because you get that smile on your face where you're not like, oh gosh, he sacked me with the 1 max C, or back in the day, oh my gosh, the vanities, the royal oppression, oh my gosh, he top decked soul charge, which is, you laugh about it with your friends, which is so true, but in your heart, in your gut, in your soul, a part of you dies. So why not enjoy the game to some degree? And like I said, any people out there in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! If you're not enjoying this game, why are you playing? Why are you here? If you're enjoying it because of a certain aspect, do that certain aspect. Be it being trying to, you know, enjoy trying to be the best player out there. Being the most competitive player, going to every YCS. If you enjoy that and spending time with your buddies and you have the time, go right ahead and do that. If I could go back in a time machine and do that stuff again, I would do it. Because I don't regret it for one moment, spending time with the buddies and my friends. But as I've gotten older, like I said, I can't do those things as much anymore. Maybe in the future, I'll be able to do some of it a little bit more. But at the moment, I can't. Which kind of saddens me a bit. But, like I said, guys, I hope you guys will enjoy this video. It's very fun. So tell me down below, guys, what is your favorite thing to do in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh? Like I said, I've always been that type of guy that says, as I've gotten older a little bit, and I've played this game for so long, and I've met so many different people, and I've seen people that don't even enjoy the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, but they still play it, and I'm like, why are you here? You should at least, at minimum, doing it because you have friends that you enjoy spending time with. And if not that, you should be doing it because you enjoy it. You should play this game at any, be it a super competitive player to the loneliest casual, I don't play anything but 2002 beatdown, to the guy in the middle who says, like me, that's like, I love competitive, I love casual, come here, let me give you a big bear hug, you know, type of dealio. You should enjoy the game. And I know people will get upset because of certain players or certain people, but you shouldn't let that get under your skin. You shouldn't let that ruin your day, and that's a life lesson in general. Don't let other people ruin your day. But yes, guys, those are just my thoughts. So tell me down below, guys, what is your favorite thing about the game of Yu-Gi-Oh? What do you love the most doing? Is it deck building, watching the show, playing, being a competitive player? What is it that makes you enjoy the game the most? So till next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling to all of you, and this is a big I'll see you next time to all of you. Take care, everybody. Good luck dueling to all of you guys.